A beautiful morning to you all out there, wherever you're watching us from. It is another wonderful beginning, the start of a new week. So, whatever it is that you must have tried to do last week that you were unable to, or even last month, this is a new start that you have been given an opportunity to start all over again. So, give it all your best, put all the effort that you have, put it in, and make sure that you try to achieve something great, something meaningful for yourself. A wonderful morning to you all out there. Shegun Denola Adiemi is my name, and you are welcome to U45 Morning Show. And this is good news because you can watch us now on your terrestrial TV, so no longer you don't have to break the bank right about now. Just get your antenna and then you watch us live on your terrestrial television channels. We are there all for your sake. Thank you for joining me this morning. You know the drill. You know how we do on U45 Morning Show. We give you the daily review of the newspapers, what's happening around and in the country that we call home. And also hashtag and trend is another segment that we'll be looking at this morning. So without wasting much of our time, let's go straight to the newspaper review this morning. And the first newspaper is starting with or rather this heartening story from the Daily Trust. The front burner says residents loot Abuja warehouses, steals foodstuff, roofing sheets. Now this is so disheartening. This is so sad because these warehouses were stocked with foodstuff so as to provide for the people. Yes, it is still meant for the people, but now a selected few have gone there to dismantle everything and then take what does not belong to them. So what happens to the rest of the people living in Abuja? What happens to them? What becomes their faith? So when people do things, they should also have it at the back of their mind that there are other people who need to survive as well. I think this message is also going out to our political elites. Yes, especially our House of Reps and House of Senate. They need to also know that. All right. The writer says NEMA beefs up security at own facilities nationwide. And also, express your feelings responsibly, Shetima urges citizens. Address hunger, poverty, insecurity, Jibwis tells government. And away from that, another headline says Customs opens 90-day window for vehicle duty regularization. You find more of that story on page 24 of the Daily Trust. Away from that, man who returned 100 million naira gifted Hajj slot cash, which is a very good one. Also, Hisbah strong push for Daurawa's return. And if you look closely, you see a picture, a photograph there. And down says the Northeast Development Commission. Those are the people in that photograph. And just atop the newspaper, you'll see Tinubu investors report any official who demands bribe. Yes, that's Tinubu to all the investors coming into the country. Following that directly, NEF cautions against relocation of firefighting equipment. And following that closely, Lobby Stars stun Katsina United 2-0 to regain top spot. And finally, on Daily Trust, war on Gaza, Israel kills Palestinians collecting aid. And that's all from the Daily Trust. And away from that, go straight to the Punch newspaper. And on the Punch newspaper, the screaming headline there says food crisis,
Tight security at NEMA stores as hoodlums loot FCT warehouses. And then the writer says, troops foil attack on Abuja warehouse, arrest 5, hoodlums cut away rice others. And then another writer says, policemen deployed in Bayelsa, Kaduna, Delta, Osun warehouses. Then another writer says, reforms not meant to inflict hardship. That's according to Shatima. Atop the newspaper, report Nigerian officials demanding bribe. That is Tinubu telling Qatari investors. For more of that story, you'll find it on page 19. And if you ask me, I'll say this is a very good development. Also, following that closely, reps ask airlines to refund 4 billion naira COVID-19 funds. You find that on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. And away from that, Senate summons CBN officials over 30 trillion naira loan. If you want to know what happened, go to page 41 of the Punch newspaper, and then you get all the details you need to know. Below the newspaper, Tompolo canvasses more crude output. Nigerian Air Force destroys illegal refineries, and that is on page 42. Driver in custody for killing 10-year-old with vehicle. You find that on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. And finally, on the Punch newspaper, same NIN linkage blocked 40 lines, rise to 40 million. Blocked lines rise to 40 million. I beg your pardon. So that means 40 million people have gotten their SIM card blocked. And away from that, we go straight to the Guardian newspaper. And on the Guardian newspaper, the screaming headline says Nigeria's terrorism index. So now the index says terror attacks decline amid new recruitment, rise in violent conflict. And you see that on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And also hardship, military, paramilitary to distribute food as hoodlums loot warehouses. Another headline says blame governors for restructuring delay economic downturn. Another headline says banditry, police place 50 million naira bounty on 2 kingpins in Katsina. Expert blames social media for mass failure in WAEC. Others. That's funny. Away from that, teachers endless wait for federal government promises of improved salary welfare. You find that on news analysis page 4. Another headline says states should account for money they receive. Yes, states should account for money they receive. You find that on editorial page 16. And away from that, telcos may lose 83 billion naira monthly over disconnected telephones lines. So over for disconnecting telephone lines, they may lose 83 billion naira, and that is on news page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And that will be it for from the Guardian newspaper. And then away from that, it goes straight to Nigerian Tribune. All right, let's go to the Nigerian Tribune. What are they saying? All right, this says residents loot warehouse in Abuja, steal food items. And the writer says vandalized building belongs to FCT Agric Department. And then another writer says police arrest 15 suspects, recover 26 bags of maize. Like I said earlier, this food item is for everybody in Abuja.
is for everyone in Abuja, not a selected few, not a greedy few. I mean, it's biting everybody, it's biting hard on everybody. And then you have no right to vandalize a government property and then steal things. It is not right. It is not right. Just wait. At the appointed time, they will distribute it and it will go to everybody. To go to everybody. So I see no reason why people go around to vandalize things. I mean, you've destroyed so many things. Now they will still look for money to repair, to do repairs on what you have destroyed, which is not good if you ask me. All right, away from that now, just atop the newspaper, that is Nigerian Tribune now. More reactions trail regulatory actions on BDC operators, that is Bureau de Change. Following that closely, Additional receives a Awolowo Leadership Prize Wednesday. And then the writer says, Tinubu, Tanzanian President, Gowon, Anyoku, governors, traditional rulers, others to grace the occasion. For more of that story, you find it on page 2 on the Nigerian Tribune. Another headline says, African Development Bank supports Nigeria with $134 million to cultivate rice, maize, cassava, soya beans. You find more of that story on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Construction materials price hike pushing contractors into financial distress. This is according to Quantity Surveyors. You find this story still on page 7. Customs approve 90 days payment window for improperly imported vehicles. You find that on page 6, and that is interesting. Nigeria, Qatar sign agreements on education, investment, others. Now the writer says Nigeria has best returns on investment. That's according to Tinubu telling the Qatari investors. Qatari investors to report any official who asks for bribe. For more of this story, you find it on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. And away from that, now we'll go to the Nation newspaper. Go straight to the Nation newspaper. And on the Nation newspaper, the screaming headline there says, Nigeria clearing obstacles to investment, says President. And then, aspirant Ayedatiwa clash over governor's certificate. You find that on news page 27 of the Nation newspaper. ICPC quizzes government officials over missing $3.4 billion IMF loan. If you want to read and see what happened, go to news page 4 of the Nation newspaper, and everything is there. And then writer says fire raises 50 acres of palm trees, pineapples worth 150 million naira in Osun. 2 policemen beaten to death. Another writer says food looter in Abuja warehouses. It's a very, very serious and delicate issue at these times. Away from that, importers get 90-day window to pay duties on vehicles. That is on page 4. Another one says cement manufacturers declare 710 billion naira profit. Now the writer says sales hit 3.1 trillion naira in 12 months. Now, country offers best return on business in the world. Yes, that is Nigeria, and that was according to Tinubu to the Qatari
investors. And away from that, away from the nation, we'll go straight to the Vanguard newspaper. And on the Vanguard newspaper, it is boldly written: federal government fights inflation, mops up 5 trillion naira. Mop up 5 trillion naira. And then the writer says to raise interest rates to reprice fixed income yields. So says to All right, sorry for that. So we're still on the Vanguard newspaper. So the writer says CBN meets foreign investors over forex reform, MPR hike. Another writer says there will be free entry and exit. All right. Another headline says only implementation of agreement will stop nationwide strike. NLC insists. You find that on page 9 of the All right. Away from that, let's just quickly go to another newspaper, which is the Blueprint. Now, this is the Blueprint newspaper, and then the headline as well still talks about high cost of living, rising cost of living, consequences of our past. That's according to Shetima, trying to say it is not the administration, that is from the previous administration. And then the writer says, assures federal government will fix nation's economy the Nigerian ways. Also, another headline says, urges responsible protest, says missed opportunities led us to where we are. Another writer says, NEMA orders protection of warehouses, please confirm looting in Abuja. Another headline says, restore fuel subsidy to curb poverty, Jibwis tells federal government. And then away from that, Tinubu to Qatari investors, report officials obstructing progress, ask for bribe. And then another headline says, we are wife materials, Niger deaf women beg willing suitors. And in Sokoto, gunmen kill PDP treasurer, kidnap couple. You find that on page 6. And then finally on the Blueprint, House of Reps summons Binance CEO over alleged terrorism funding. You find more of that story on page 11 of the Blueprint newspaper. Away from that, I go straight to New Telegraph. Go away to New Telegraph. Hardship. Residents break into FCTA owned agric warehouse. Now, the headline says incident signals booming mass uprising. That's according to PRP. Africa Development Bank helps Nigeria with $134 million to cultivate rice. Others. You find these stories on page 2, 5, 25, and 28. Another headline says federal government grants 90-day extension to regularize duty on imported vehicles. And then echoes of restructuring as Nigerians await Tinubu's campaign promise fulfillment. You find these on page 9, 10, and page 11. Lagos State government issues 4-day ultimatum to squatters on Lekki Coastal Road. You find that on page 7 of the New Telegraph. Atop the newspaper, it says CBN banks contributions to AMCON's sinking fund hit 416.99 billion naira. And another headline says Nigeria's purchasing managers index drops to 51.0 on inflation. And then reps order private airlines refund 4 billion naira COVID-19 funds to federal government within 1 week. You find more of that story on page 3 because there's a clause there. And then another one, Tinubu to Qatari investors, returns on investment highest in Nigeria. Well, another headline says on a more lighter note, though, it says tattoos can lead to organ damage, so you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. That's according to study. And to read more of that, you go to page 27 of the New Telegraph. Okay, and then on this note is where I'll call it a day for this newspaper. But there are several of them I've not read. But maybe we could take one or two. Yes, let's just take one or two, right? So that we'll be on the same page. So I go straight to the Daily Times. Why Igbo won't protest against Tinubu, by Umahi. Another one says summit projects rapid growth in gas sector, reduction in domestic prices. Another headline says hungry residents loot Abuja warehouse, vandalize facilities. Another headline says why EL may be counterproductive. That's according to Export. And most of these stories, or we've seen it in other newspapers. This one says NDLEA nabs Vietnam-bound businessman with cocaine at Abuja airport. And another headline says Rep Committee asks private airlines to refund 4 billion naira COVID-19 fund. You find it on page 4 of the Daily Times. So away from that, and finally I wrap it up with the Matrix. So on the Matrix newspaper, the screaming headline says outrage trails Tinubu's expatriate employment levy. All right, and the writer says if implemented, it will frustrate federal government's ongoing fiscal monetary reforms. Another writer says federal government cannot impose tax or levy without appropriate legislation. It must be backed by an act of the National Assembly. Another writer says experts says timeline for compliance too short. Want at least 6 months notice to comply. Now, for failing to probe missing $3.4 billion IMF loan, Serap sues President Tinubu. Now, Nollywood tragic deaths. Tinubu, Atiku, Obi mourn Mr. Ibu, Sisi Quadri. Another headline says economic hardship. Looted warehouse by hoodlums did not belong to us. NEMA clarifies. Now, 2 policemen lynched by angry mob for crushing 3 to death in Edo. And then another headline says despite AFCTA, African countries trade more with nations outside continents. That's according to ECA reports. Now, finally, embattled Emefiele evacuates Central Bank of Nigeria governor's quarters. Well, this is as much we'll be able to take this morning. Our time is fast spent. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you for joining me this morning on the newspaper review. I hope you learned one or two, and then you are able to understand what the dailies are saying, and you're informed about the happenings around you in the country where you live in. All right, thank you so much. We'll go on a very short break right now. Yes, when I come back, it will be time for hashtag and trends. Do stay with us. Do not go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Some school of thoughts believe the major challenges confronting Nigeria as a nation is caused by poor leadership. How true is this? You and I can actually put government into tools to deliver the dividends of democracy. Join us every Saturday by 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let us look at the issues confronting us as a nation. Together we talk heads. Nigeria can be great again. I'm Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. Keep it date.
What up, guys? How's your day going? How are you doing this? I want to believe that you're having fun, right? This bright and sunny day. You know that once you see this duo on your TV screen, we're here to serve you some entertainment.
And of course, entertaining gist coupled with good music won't hurt anybody, right? So here on Super Lunch, we get to entertain you, educate you on recent happenings in the world of entertainment. I am your girl, Eva Grace.
And I am Shegun Delola Adeyemi, the Duke of your airwaves. You know how it is. We serve you good entertainment Mondays all through to Fridays. And that's how we do. We'll take you on a smooth ride of entertainment. So don't go nowhere. Join us every Mondays to Fridays. We love you guys.
There's no place for pretense. I can't watch you stand there. Oh no.
Ó ta lẹ́nu, ó pọ̀ lẹ́nu, ó dùn lẹ́nu. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, ó ta lẹ́nu, ó pọ̀ lẹ́nu, ó dùn lẹ́nu. Yusuf Mọ́rúnsọ́lá ní orúkọ ti tèmi Funky ọmọ ẹ̀lẹ̀ tó gbásìkì tó dùn tó kí tó yí gbogbo. Ẹ pàdé mi ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Thursday 8:30 to 9:30 àti gbogbo ọjọ́ Saturday 1 to 2 fún ètò tó ga jù. Ẹ má miss ẹ̀, ó ga jù lẹ́tò. Ẹ pàdé mi, ó ṣàprápra.
Lẹ́nu ó pọ̀ lẹ́nu ó dùn lẹ́nu. Come on, I cannot do.
Oh, you're welcome back from that break. So right about now, it is time for hashtag and trends. We'll start with Whiskey FC. Now, so people saying the best, the strongest support base in Nigeria is the Whiskey FC. Yeah, they are very, very devoted. And now, someone is saying, now Whiskey is teasing new album release. So the question is the FC ready for it? Say Whiskey teases new album, but is FC ready for it? Now, I believe everybody who claims to be an FC, right, is always ready for a singles from like Popsy, like they call him, singles, an album, and then we just hope that it is something that will worth our time to listen to it, you know. And then someone said something like, why is Whiskey trying to repeat same mistake that the last album he dropped it same time as Davido, so that's why it did not get much airplay or support like that. So that why is it trying to release an album the time Davido too is trying to release an album? You understand? So I don't know, but I just believe that this album will be huge, and then hopefully we'll give some upcoming artists a chance in the album. It will also help him to boost his career as well, because I mean these upcoming guys, they will give in their best, and giving in their best means a better album, a better track, and better tracks means a good album, of course. Remember when he featured Essence, when he featured Thames gave it all, and it was beautiful, it was lovely. So hopefully we'll get to see one or two again from this album. Now, this is a rather sad story. It's between Harry Song and his estranged wife. Now they have these issues. They have these issues going on. If you recall, there was a time where Harry Song was saying, "Do not bring my marriage to the social media. Don't use my marriage as a point of talks, so that you gain more visibility. No, just leave my marriage out of it." So now that slide you just saw, it says at Harry Song. Now this is the wife saying this: "If anything happens to my kids, you will be held responsible." If anything happens to her kids, he will be held responsible. So now she had an interview with Daddy Freeze, and Daddy Freeze asked her, and then what she told Daddy Freeze was, he said he married her out of pity. That he body shames her. He tells her she only gives birth to girls, that she has stretch marks. I mean, I don't know, but I feel 80% of women, Nigerian women to be precise, all have stretch marks. I mean, most women have stretch marks, so that should not be something to use to what do they call it, to body shame her. And then anyway, let's read this one that you've seen on your screen. If you can see clearly, it says, "Arikon told me he married me out of pity. He cheats on me regularly." Underline that word. It cheats on me on a regular. That she can't count the number of infections she has had to treat, and then the physical assaults and all. Now that when she speaks, you'll be like, is it not just slap? I mean, slap, punch, I mean, an abuse is an abuse, right? An assault is an assault. You don't raise your hand on a woman. Well, Daddy Free said he's still going to get Harry Song's side of the story, but this is just her own side
of the story, and then the bone of contention is she's not able to give birth to a male child. She's giving birth to girls, but she's currently pregnant again. So, I mean, so male child, girl child, a child is a child. That's what I believe, and that is what should be. A child is a child. And then anyway, then she still went further to say, those receipts you think you documented, I have more too. You think it's by blocking me? Let's go parent in peace. You agreed for just a month, and now you say you won't take responsibilities anymore. How? You seized my phone, wiped everything, including all evidence I had. You're still threatening my mom. I've kept mute. Enough. Not anymore. So she's kept mute. She's kept quiet. Enough. Now, not anymore. She's ready to speak. She's ready to fight for herself. But anyway, I think the co-parenting issue, yes, do your bit. Let her do a bit as well. And then you raise these children. They are product of the both of you, not just her. So basically, let love just reign. Basically, all right. Away from that, now this one, Yole Doche. So Yole Doche's daughter says, one thing I hate is people giving me advice. Hey, she said, I didn't ask for. People giving her advice she did not ask for. Right? She says she hates it. And then, so that's shortly after her stepmother advised young girls against fixing lashes. Anyway, some people too don't like it when you advise them, because I mean, they did not ask for the advice. Why are you advising them? Some people don't like it anyway. Now, Senator Shehu Sani is always speaking facts, and I love it. He said the NCC and the telecom operators, they know how to quickly block SIM cards. The ones they are yet to know how to quickly block are those ones used by bandits to collect ransom. So they know how to quickly block people's ordinary civilians, yes, people's SIM card. But when it comes to blocking those ones that they use in collecting ransom, they don't know how to quickly block those. Why? Well, it's not far-fetched, because I mean, if there's a sitting minister, senator who knows the whereabouts of these bandits, of this Boko Haram, and then they actually go into their hideout to negotiate with them on behalf of federal government. You're going to negotiate with terrorists on behalf of the federal government. So that means, that goes to show that the government has a lot to do. Yes, they have a lot to do. It is not as though they do not know where these bandits are or where these criminal elements are. They do, because there is somebody in the government who knows. So through that person, you can get to them. So why send one man to go and talk to them when you can follow the man and round them up? But anyway, we're just journalists. What do we know? What do we know? So this one, don't offer a bribe to my people and report anyone to me. Tinubu telling Qatari investors. Now, some people, some journalists are saying, why do you want to downplay Nigeria and the open market? Why are you saying all of this? But we clearly saw when a certain government official requested for 1 billion naira to process and approve a project, kind of, right? Just for our approval, 1 billion naira. That goes to show that there is high level of corruption in the country. So call a spade and say it as it is. Because by the time these Qatari investors come into Nigeria and then they meet one senator, one minister, one House of Reps member, and that one starts to say, for you to see the president, for you to start this your project, you need to pay $1 million, you need to pay $5 million for somebody that wants to help improve the economy of your country. They will not listen. They will want to. They will go back. Yes, I mean, why waste my money? Why waste my time? Why waste my resources? They will go back. So that means the labor of the president traveling all the way to Qatar to have a meeting with them, to schedule a meeting with them, have a meeting. So you mean it's in vain? No. So I think it's a right move, it's a right step in the right direction. If you ask me. Now to this story now. Okay, so now this is what some people were saying. It said, is it not demarketing its country by telling the world its officials take bribes? I feel you should call a spade and not a farming implement, right? It is a spade, call it a spade. My people, look, all over the world, they know Nigerians are corrupt. Everyone keeps saying it, and then some journalists, they say it on their shows, even when they are invited on podcasts. So everybody, it's not a thing to hide any longer. It is what it is. If you ask me, I think the next line of action is name calling. Call anybody. Yes. If you're corrupt politicians, we call you out. Bring evidence and call your name. In fact, if possible, channel it to your family. Yes. So I think what the government and what the president did is right. Rufai Hussaini, I'm sorry if you think is demarketing the country. I feel he has done the right thing, and I'm pretty sure he is smart. He's learned as well, right? And then he said, "Is this not an indictment on his selection process?" He did not select the senators. Neither did he elect the House of Reps. So what are you saying, Rufai? And then another one, would anyone like investors come to a place where the president is for warning about a possibility of bribes? Yes, they will come because he's giving them his word that come. Anybody says anything, you have my direct line. Come to me. Give me a call. So now you know he has a reason for going with his son Yinka and Sheyi. So if you cannot call the president directly, you have to go through somebody, and those people are asking for bribe. Now his son is there. There is Sheyi Tinubu there that you can call. That look, I want to see the president. So I feel it's the right move in the right direction. Whatever they say, I don't care about. This is a very, very good move by the president, and I say kudos to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Away from that now, 2027 Rep proposes bill to stop Northwest, Southwest, South from presidential election. Well, I think it's a good move. So now it can actually go round. So Northwest has been there severally, Southwest, South. So we need Southeast, right? So we need Southeast. We need North Central, and then Northwest. So we need North Central, Northwest, and Southeast to try to see who comes. But it's a bill. It might be passed. It might not. I mean, it might pass first and second reading, and it might not. But let's just be hopeful. Let's just hope that the best is what will happen to Nigeria. Let's be hopeful that the best will happen to Nigeria, and then we will be all be good for it. At the end of the day, we will all enjoy ourselves. And then finally, to a sad story. It is very sad, and that is the incident that occurred over the weekend. The passing away of Mr. John Okafor, Mr. Ibu, as we fondly call him. Mr. Ibu, he passed on to glory at the age of 62. I mean, he's made most of us our childhood memorable. I mean, and then it's a good thing that in the last moment he saw people that showed him love. Though there was so much rift in his family, but hey, there were some people who stood by him till the very last, who showed him love. And then in a video that went viral, he was saying a big thank you to Rude Boy, that's Paul of P Square. That, I mean, he did not know P Square from anywhere. They met in the industry, and then not from same parents, not from same family, but Paul has been there for him, standing in for him, helping him, and showing love and support. And it just, I mean, was grateful. And in his usual self, he was saying it in a comic way too, saying if for no make ever call him Nama. You understand? As in, well, that is Mr. Ibu that we know. We just pray that may his soul rest in perfect peace. All right. On this note, I say thank you very much. I will throw the curtain on this segment for this, and also we'll be playing you some sport highlights, and then hopefully I'm pretty sure you all know that in this Nigeria we have the best of the best. We just need a lesson and all of those. I'll go on a break, and then when I come back, I will just it'll be touch on the sporting segment, and then we'll call it a day. So do not go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
School of Thoughts believe the major challenges confronting Nigeria as a nation is caused by poor leadership. How true is this? You and I can actually put government into tools to deliver the dividends of democracy. Join us every Saturday by 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let us look at the issues confronting us as a nation together with talk heads. Nigeria can be great again. I'm Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. Keep it date.
What up, guys? How's your day going? How are you doing this? I want to believe that you're having fun, right? This bright and sunny day. You know that once you see this duo on your TV screen, we're here to serve you some entertainment.
And of course, entertaining gist coupled with good music won't hurt anybody, right? So here on Super Lunch, we get to entertain you, educate you on recent happenings in the world of entertainment. I am your girl, Eva Grace.
And I am Shegun Delola Adeyemi, the Duke of your airwaves. You know how it is. We serve you good entertainment Mondays all through to Fridays. And that's how we do. We'll take you on a smooth ride of entertainment. So don't go nowhere. Join us every Mondays to Fridays. We love you guys.